Have you ever felt trapped, utterly and completely cornered? Like there's no escape, no way out, no light at the end of the tunnel? One moment you're celebrating a breakthrough, a victory hard won, a moment of triumph and exhilaration. You feel on top of the world, invincible, ready to conquer anything. The next, you're staring at an impossible barrier. A seemingly insurmountable obstacle looms before you, a brick wall of adversity that threatens to crush your spirit and halt your progress. That's where the Israelites stood, a vast multitude, weary but hopeful, on the cusp of a new beginning. Freshly freed from Egypt, hope blossoming in their hearts, dreams of a promised land fueling their steps, only to face the vast, impassable Red Sea. A watery expanse stretching as far as the eye could see, a formidable barrier to their newfound freedom. No bridges, no easy way across, no convenient passage, no boats, no means of transportation, no vessels to carry them to safety, no way across, absolutely no visible path forward, no logical solution in sight. Behind them, a dust cloud grew, a menacing sign, a harbinger of impending doom. Pharaoh's army, 600 chariots thundering closer. A relentless force fueled by vengeance and determined to reclaim their former slaves. They were trapped, sea in front, army behind. A classic pincer movement, a strategic nightmare. Celebration turned to terror. The joyous atmosphere evaporated, replaced by a chilling wave of fear. Hope evaporated. The light of optimism flickered and died, leaving behind a heavy darkness of despair. Fear pierced their hearts. A sharp, agonizing pain of dread gripped their souls. They turned on Moses. "Did you bring us here to die? Was there not enough room to bury us in Egypt?" Panic drowned out faith. Reason and trust were swept away by a tidal wave of hysteria. The enemy looked bigger than their God. The immediate threat loomed larger than their belief in divine power. This is the anatomy of a crisis. A perfect storm of fear, doubt, and overwhelming circumstances. When your problem overshadows your protector. When the magnitude of your challenge eclipses your faith in the one who can overcome anything. The Israelites were hemmed in by the sea of impossibility. A vast expanse of what seemed unachievable. And the army of their past, the chains of slavery and oppression threatening to drag them back into bondage. Freedom felt like a cruel joke, a bitter deception, a promise unfulfilled. Deliverance felt like a death sentence. Escape transformed into a trap, no way forward, no way back. A complete and utter standstill, only the end in sight. The apparent termination of their journey, the crushing defeat of their hopes. But God had led them here, deliberately, intentionally, with a purpose beyond their understanding. By cloud and fire, not by accident. His guiding presence, a constant reassurance of his unwavering commitment, was no mere coincidence. He hadn't abandoned them. His love and care remained steadfast, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. He had positioned them, placed them precisely where he needed them to be, for a reason they couldn't yet comprehend. Sometimes God brings us to a place where only He can make a way. To demonstrate His power, to reveal His glory, to prove that He is the God of the impossible. The Israelites saw only the dead end, the limitations of their own strength and understanding. God saw the beginning of a miracle, the opportunity to display His boundless power and unwavering love. In our own lives we hit these dead ends, moments of crisis, times of despair, situations that seem utterly hopeless. Where our strength fails and fear takes over, when we feel completely depleted, overwhelmed by the challenges before us. But these are the moments God chooses to show His power, to step into our lives and demonstrate His unwavering faithfulness. When you're trapped, remember, you are not alone, you are not forgotten, and you are not without hope. God is not surprised. He is never caught off guard, never overwhelmed by our circumstances. He's setting the stage, preparing the way for a breakthrough, orchestrating a miracle. The end of your resources is the start of His. When we reach the limits of our own abilities, we open the door for God's limitless power to work. The Israelites' crisis was God's opportunity, a chance to display His glory and deliver His people in a spectacular way. He brought them to the edge, to the very brink of disaster, to the point of utter desperation. Not to destroy them, but to deliver them, to demonstrate His power and lead them into a new chapter of freedom and blessing. When you see no way out, look up, lift your eyes to the heavens, and remember that God is still in control. God specializes in dead ends. He delights in turning impossible situations into miraculous breakthroughs. He's about to do what only He can do. Prepare to witness His power, His grace, and His unwavering love in action. The story isn't over. Your journey is far from complete. It's just getting started. A new chapter is about to begin, filled with hope, promise and the unwavering presence of God. In the face of overwhelming odds, in the midst of utter chaos, one man stood firm: Moses. He was a beacon of resolve amidst a sea of despair. He saw the same sea, a seemingly insurmountable barrier stretching out before him and his people. He heard the same army, the relentless pounding of hooves and the chilling war cries of their pursuers, growing ever closer. He felt the same fear, the primal instinct to flee, the crushing weight of responsibility for the lives entrusted to him. But Moses, in his wisdom and unwavering faith, looked to God. He knew where true strength resided. He didn't offer a plan, a meticulously crafted strategy to outwit their enemies. He offered something far more powerful: a promise, a divine assurance in the face of impossible circumstances. "Do not be afraid," he declared, his voice resonating with conviction. Fear is loud, a deafening roar that can paralyze and consume, but faith, though often a whisper, is ultimately louder, a force that can move mountains and calm the raging seas within us. Moses had seen God's power in Egypt, witnessed firsthand the miraculous events that defied human explanation. He knew without a shadow of a doubt that God could handle this seemingly insurmountable crisis. He told the people, "Stand firm, the Lord will fight for you. He will be your shield and your sword, your protector and your deliverer. You need only to be still, to quiet the anxieties that threaten to overwhelm you." The battle wasn't theirs, not in the traditional sense. The outcome didn't depend on their strength, their military prowess, or their strategic brilliance. God himself would fight for them, unleashing his divine power on their behalf. Their part: be still. That's the hardest part, the surrendering of control, the relinquishing of our own perceived ability to fix things. When everything in you wants to run, to fight, to fix, to take matters into your own hands, God says, "Be still." He asks for trust, unwavering faith, in the middle of the storm when the winds are howling and the waves are crashing. Moses wasn't denying the danger, he wasn't minimizing the threat that loomed before them. He was declaring God's sovereignty over it, affirming that even in the face of such peril, God was still in control. Our God is a warrior, a mighty defender of those who trust in him. When he fights, victory is certain, assured, and absolute. The promise was made, a covenant sealed between God and his people. The stage was set, the players were in place, and the drama was about to unfold. Now, they just had to watch, to wait with bated breath, and witness what God would do, the miracle he was about to perform. In your own panic, in your own moment of crisis, remember, God's promise stands, unshakable and unwavering, a solid foundation upon which you can build your hope. The Lord will fight for you. He will be your defender, your protector, your champion. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to understand the complexities of the situation. You don't have to be strong enough. You don't have to possess superhuman strength or resilience. You just have to be still enough to let God move, to allow him to work his wonders in your life. When fear shouts, when doubt creeps in and whispers insidious lies, let faith answer. Let the unwavering belief in God's promise be your guiding light. When you're surrounded by challenges, when you feel trapped and overwhelmed, remember who surrounds you, remember the divine presence that encompasses you, the unwavering love that protects you. God's promise is your anchor, a steadfast and reliable source of hope in the midst of life's storms. The Israelites' story is your story, a testament to God's unwavering faithfulness and his power to deliver. The same God fights for you, the same power that parted the Red Sea is available to you today. Stand firm, unwavering in your faith, resolute in your trust. Be still, quiet your mind, and open your heart to the presence of God. Watch what he will do, anticipate the miraculous, and trust in his divine plan. The miracle is coming, the breakthrough is on its way, the dawn is about to break. Trust the promise, cling to the hope, and believe in the power of God's unwavering love. What does it mean to be still? It's not giving up or doing nothing. Being still is active faith, a deliberate choice to trust God's power over your own. It's a holy pause, quieting your frantic thoughts to hear his voice. Like a child calmed by a father's embrace, you can be still not because the storm stops, but because you trust who holds you. The Israelites couldn't build a bridge or fight the army, their only action was trust. Stillness is surrender. God, I can't, but you can. It's transferring the burden from your shoulders to his. Their weapon was trust. Their strategy was surrender. In the face of an army and a sea, they were told to stand still and wait for God. This is the challenge of faith, to be still when everything screams, do something. But in that stillness, God does his greatest work. Be still. Let God move. That's where miracles begin. With the people hushed, God moved. The pillar of cloud shifted behind Israel, blocking the Egyptians. Darkness for Egypt, light for Israel. God stood between his people and their past. Then God told Moses, "Raise your staff over the sea." Moses obeyed. A strong east wind blew all night, pushing back the waters. Where there was no path, God made one, dry ground through the sea. Walls of water rose on either side. An entire nation walked through the impossible. God turned their greatest obstacle into their path to freedom. He waited until hope was gone, then made a way. The Israelites walked away from bondage, protected by God's presence. No human could have imagined this. God didn't remove the problem, he made a way through it. When you face the impossible, remember, God specializes in making a way where there is none. He turns obstacles into highways. He uses what you fear to set you free. Trust him to carve your path. The miracle is in the middle of the mess. Walk forward in faith. The Israelites reached the far shore, but the Egyptians charged in after them. They saw the path, but not the God who made it. As the last Israelite stepped out, God moved again. He threw the Egyptian army into confusion, jamming their chariot wheels. Panic set in. The Lord is fighting for them. God told Moses, "Stretch out your hand." Moses obeyed. The waters crashed back, swallowing the army. The threat was gone. The past was buried. Israel hadn't fought. They'd trusted, obeyed, and been still. God fought for them, just as he promised. The battle belonged to the Lord. When you trust God, he fights for you. Your enemies are no match for your defender. The victory is his alone. Stand and watch him win. The Red Sea story is more than history, it's a pattern for our lives. You may not face a literal sea, but you know what it's like to feel trapped. Your Red Sea might be debt, illness, broken relationships, or fear. You've tried everything, but the sea won't part. It's in these moments, when you're helpless and desperate, that God loves to show up. He specializes in impossible situations. Your crisis is not too big for him. He may have led you here, not to punish, but to position you for a miracle. He wants you to rely on him alone. Look at your impossible situation. Do you see an obstacle or an opportunity for God's glory? The same God who parted the waters is your God today. He's not intimidated by your problem. He's waiting for you to be still and trust. Your Red Sea is not the end, it's the beginning of a new chapter of faith. Let God turn your dead end into deliverance. Watch him make a way. The hardest part? The waiting. God didn't part the sea instantly. The wind blew all night. The Israelites waited in darkness, trapped between the sea and the enemy. Waiting tests our faith the most. We want instant miracles, but God works on his own timetable. The waiting is not a sign of his absence. It's part of his plan. In the waiting, faith deepens and character grows. God's delays are not denials. He waits until the situation is impossible, so only he gets the glory. If you're waiting, don't despair. God is working behind the scenes. The wind of his spirit is blowing, pushing back the waters. Your part is to trust in the dark. Hold on to his promise. The dawn is coming. The way will be made clear. His timing is perfect. His deliverance is sure. Imagine if the Israelites tried to swim, build rafts, or negotiate with Egypt. Futile. The only path to safety was the one God created. Their job was to let go of their own plans and follow his. That's our call too. Let go of the reins. You've tried to solve it on your own, striving, worrying, carrying a burden you weren't meant to bear. God invites you to surrender control. Some battles you can't win, some seas you can't part. Letting go feels like weakness, but in faith, surrender is victory. It's saying, God, I trust your plan, your timing, your power. Step out of the driver's seat. Let God take the wheel. He knows the way through your wilderness. What do you need to release today? Place it in his hands. Stop striving. Let God be God. His effortless power is greater than your greatest effort. We end where we began, at the edge of the sea with a promise, a whisper of hope carried on the morning breeze. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Let these words resonate within you, a calming balm for your weary soul. This isn't just for the Israelites of old. This promise transcends time and culture. It's a living word spoken directly to you right now, in this very moment. God's character hasn't changed, not one bit. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. His power hasn't faded. The strength that moved mountains and calmed storms still resides within him. The Red Sea story is the pattern of God's saving work, a timeless blueprint for deliverance. From bondage to freedom, a journey from captivity to liberation. From fear to faith, a transformation fueled by unwavering trust. From striving to stillness, a surrender to his perfect peace. Jesus made the ultimate way for us at the cross, bridging the gap between humanity and divinity. He fought the battle we could never win, conquering sin and death once and for all. All we do is be still and receive his grace, an unearned gift of love and mercy. So what's your next step? What decision awaits you at this crossroads? Be still. Trust him. Let his guidance illuminate your path forward. Shift your focus from the size of your sea, from the overwhelming challenges that surround you, to the greatness of your God, the boundless power that resides within him. He sees you. He knows your fear. He understands the depths of your struggles. He's fighting for you now, a valiant warrior defending you from all harm. Let this promise anchor your soul, a steadfast hope in the midst of the storm. The Lord will fight for me, I need only to be still. Claim this truth as your own personal declaration. Release your worries, let them drift away like balloons into the vast expanse of the sky. Surrender your striving, relinquish the need to control and orchestrate every outcome. Stand firm and watch what God will do. Observe the unfolding of his divine plan with unwavering anticipation. He parted a sea for his people, creating a pathway where there seemed to be no escape. He can make a way for you, even when the obstacles seem insurmountable. Trust him. The victory is already his, secured by his unwavering love and power. You just get to watch him win, to witness the miraculous unfolding of his grace in your life.